Welcome to the Wexford Football League show. I'm joined by Nicky Murphy again. We're going to discuss last week's results, this week's fixtures, and what other gossip is going around Wexford Football League. Nicky is good for the gossip in Wexford soccer. So, have you any this week, Nicky?
None.
Can you elaborate? You're going to tell us first there. I think you just off the phone to Chairman Dennis Hennessy. The youths are in the Leinster final tonight. Any update on it?
Yeah, it was 0-0 when I was talking to Dennis. He said that the game started at 7:30, so he said they had a really, really good first half an hour. He said they were dominant, so which is really, really good. He said they had two good chances, one off the post and one just barely wide. So look, they definitely went up there as the underdogs. The DDSL were red hot favourites. So look, hopefully they can pull off a surprise result.
The DDSL bet them earlier on in the competition, didn't they?
Yeah, bet them in the group stages. So this is the Leinster final. So the DDSL are managed by Evan Ferguson. Father. Yeah. So good caliber of coach up there. So look at hopefully we'll see what happens.
Just for maybe people don't know the management team of the Wexford team, it's Pádraig is his manager, is he?
Pádraig is in as manager, yeah. And he has a big backroom team. Tommy Burns. There's a group of lads there.
Pádraig don't like work.
No, definitely doesn't like work. Sure, he works in the school, same as yourself.
Yeah. I'm not a teacher though, so I have to work. And I suppose the other big news in soccer in the last couple of weeks, we didn't touch on last week, was the Wexford FC appointing Steve Elliott. You must be happy James Keddy has gone after 3 games into his reign. You were looking for him to be gone 2 years ago. So,
look at in fairness to James, he done a great job down there. They were struggling down the bottom of the table. He got them into the playoffs twice. I'll be honest, I didn't really like the way they played football a whole lot. I thought it was a bit boring whenever I went to see him, but maybe Stephen Elliott will change it. But at the end of the day, it's a results game, and James got great results down there. He definitely helped the club grow as it has grown over the last couple of years. Because without the work that he done, he wouldn't be getting in Stephen Elliott. While he's coming with this big name, former Irish international, played in the Premier League with Sunderland. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I know he still lives in England, so it's going to be an interesting transition to see how this is going to work. And look, it's a big stepping stone for him, but it's a massive signing for Wexford FC.
Yeah, I think his history in coaching, I suppose, is with youth, and that's what Wexford FC want to bring through. I think he was head of academy in St. Pat's. A lot of his signings so far are youngsters, so it'll be interesting to see will the youngsters around the county here get a chance.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Aaron Dobbs has re-signed, and I think Mikey Rowe has as well. So it's nice to see Darragh Livingston as well. Yeah, so Ethan Boyle was let go, all right, but it's nice to see some of the other lads kept in and around the group. Yeah,
and some of his backroom team, I think John Behan is his assistant. He have Conor Woods in as a coach, and then he have 2 local men. Pat Isle is in as goalkeeping coach, and Paul Byrne is in as kit man. 2 of my men that I know well, so it's good to see a bit of locality in it, isn't it?
Yeah, look at it. It's great. It's good to see the 2 lads given a chance. In fairness to Paul, he's done. He just Trojan work up there for the mine in the background. So yeah, it's good to see Paul getting in. I'm sure poor old Boogie, he must have got the elbow out of the job down there. He'd be disappointed. But look at I know Boogie's only recently married. I think he could be heading back over to England. But look, it's a big job for Pat Doyle. He's played League of Ireland. He's played county senior football. Like he has a few qualifications behind him. So it'll be interesting to see now how he settles down. And it's a big job for Pat.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably his first job in coaching. You know, he coaches our underage teams, but specifically with goalkeepers at that level, it's a big job to be jumping straight into. He's still young enough, man. He's only 33, 34. So it'll be interesting. He have a young family, a lot of time. I've talked to him and Paul. I think it's 3 nights a week at the moment and at the weekend, so it's fairly intense.
Yeah, it's big effort. But then again, look at Wexford FC. I think they had maybe the second or third biggest wage bracket last year, or fund there available to pot to use. So look, it'd be interesting to see like if it's worth their while, obviously financially, and then they can move then themselves to push on and achieve stuff.
I suppose in their first big game is, I think, what you call it earlier, the Goggy Derby. Is that what you call it?
No, you said it to me. You made me sick when you said it, to be honest. The Goggy Derby, huh?
I'll credit Dave.
Who's playing?
I'll credit Dave Derricks for that.
I know, look at this Saturday, North End versus Wexford FC. So like I was lucky enough to be only ever involved with Shamrock Rovers. We played against Longford, and then we had Shamrock Rovers down from Dublin one time, and like they're really good occasions. North End, it'll be their second time playing Wexford FC, I think, in the Leinster Senior Cup. So look at it. It'll be a big day out down in North End, and I'm sure they'll want to test. Well, you'd have to fancy North End to beat them, because what have Wexford FC done?
Still putting a squad together. Yeah.
So
and it'll be interesting to see when the likes of Aaron, Mikey, Darragh Livingston play. And
yeah, I'd say it'll be predominantly the under-20 squad.
Yeah, you imagine a few.
So it should be the Gary Dempsey derby. Gary Dempsey managing the under-20s playing against his North End team. So
that's it. It's in Hollygrove, is it?
Yeah, it's down North End.
Yeah, we encourage everyone to get down there and support Wexford soccer, and hopefully there'll be a lot of good young Wexford men out on the field on the day. I suppose another thing, Nick, I want to bring up to you is transfers. Not actual transfers as such, but the way it works now with the app. I think there's been a little bit of it's easier now for players. We've said it last year, it's easier for players to leave, but it's probably a little bit harder now for clubs maybe to, if lads haven't paid their membership fee and all, I think they can't really stop them now, can they? Can just go.
I don't think they could.
With the app, sorry, no, for the app. So Shamrock Rovers can just, if Shamrock Rovers sign the player, they put a request into the team they're with that they're wanting to sign him, is it?
Yeah. And
then that club has to approve it.
Then that club has to approve it, and I think if it goes 5 or 6 days, then the FAI can overrule it, and they can approve it and things like that. So, yeah, look, at even without all the, like, you could lose a player without even realising, you know, like that he's gone. I just think it's too easy nowadays. It was always a bit tougher a few years ago. If you have to come out in and ask a manager or a committee, and it had to be physically signed and handed over, you were less likely to go and do it. You don't pick a chap now for a couple of weeks coming up to January, he can just gone. So for whatever reason, I wouldn't agree with clubs holding players against their will either. You know, like, but like at the end of the day, it's up to the clubs to have their financial. So if a player comes in and doesn't pay his membership, that's the club's fault for playing him week in, week out. Yeah. So you can't hold them, or lotto tickets or whatever thing like that. That's up to the club. If it's discipline and things like that, I think then they should be backed. But when it comes down to the financial thing, if a player plays without his membership, that's the clubs. To be honest with you, the club shouldn't be allowing him. That should be their own rules. That's only my own personal opinion. And look, if he decides to leave, you may just say, well, look.
I agree with you on the money thing. I think it's up to the club to get their own ducks in order with that. But I don't like the format, as you said before. I
don't like the format.
If it was a physical paper release, you had to go to your club secretary. You were a manager, I was manager. 9 times out of 10, that player would come to you as a manager first before you'd even go to the club secretary. Some players might even know who the club secretary is in the club, so they would come to you. Now, the first you're hearing it as a manager is probably when your secretary or chairman rings you and say, I request in here for Joe Bloggs to go to Cairn United.
Yeah, you could be a manager and you don't talk to your secretary week in, week out. And next minute a player comes in and he releases him and you've no idea. So look at that. That's within clubs as well. But I think it's too easy. I think there should be a bit more protection out there for clubs, and it should be made a little bit more difficult to just stop players jumping from one club to another club.
Personally, in just my opinion, a lot of people don't agree. I think that January window should be gone for junior soccer. I think players should commit to you for the year and shouldn't have a chance to leave in between.
Yeah, I never really thought of it now, to be honest with you. Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't be a bad.
Well, as a manager, as you say, if you when January coming, you're probably thinking to yourself, now this fella hasn't played for 3 games, I better give him a game here because he could up and leave.
What you could do is organise a practice match and play him in that and tell him he was brilliant.
Is that what you've done?
Yeah, I suppose so. Didn't know how it work.
We move on. You didn't get to a game at the weekend. You were over in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Did you get to a game over there?
Yeah, I was over at Liverpool and Accrington Stanley, so 4-0 win. So look, it's nice. It's a different
standard.
Different standard anyway, for sure. But it's a different lifestyle over there. The football, like I wouldn't even be a Liverpool supporter, but I like going to Anfield. Atmosphere is always very, very good. In and around the ground, it's always a big day out. It would be lovely to have something like that over in Ireland, a real thing. But look, it'll never happen, unfortunately.
Oh, so we had the Wexford Cup at the weekend. Bridge Rovers out Division 4, losing out to Glenbarntown 3A 4-3. Rosslare 4A getting beat by Barleymun 5-2. Ross Celtic Division 4 losing out to Simone 5-4 3A. Good few goals in these. Joseph's 4A getting beat by Bunclody's B team 3-0. Coraclough B team beating Bree 7-0. Fastnet 3-2 from Division, or 3-0 winners. Division 2 team beating Crossabeg's B team. Adamstown out Division 3 1-0 against Bows. Rantnewers Division 5 team losing out or winning 2-1 against Gorey Celtic. Shamrocks Enniscorthy United first team comfortably beating your third team there, Nicky.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah, and the one where I thought might be a shock on the table, but Tom Rack put me at ease with that. The one handing off against Gorey's third team. I suppose probably this or Shamrocks beating the biggest surprise. Duncannon beating out Division 3, beating Rantnure out Division 1.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the form of Rantnure this year.
Yeah, but they had Shane Lawler back. Unfortunately, he was sent off for 2 yellows. So I think Rantnure had quite a strong squad out, but a good win for Duncannon.
And then Shamrocks Division 3 beating Shamrocks B team beating Campile 3-3 on penalties. I think Shamrocks were 2-0 up in this, weren't they? And they had Campile had a man sent off.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah, so chatting to a few lads, they said it was a hell of a game. Look at Rovers A team struggled to beat Campile for a number of years, and probably still will. So it was a fantastic result for the B team to go down there and pick up a win, especially down in Campile. The fixtures were reversed, so yeah, massive win for the lads there to win.
Another 2 goals for Jamie Myler in that game. He's a machine in fairness for Campile, Andy.
Yeah, he's really settled down this year, hasn't he? And he's playing week in, week out, and yeah, he's getting a lot of goals. Good, very good player in that division. And
Joseph's 6-0 winners again, Fastnet in the last game. That's when we'll be doing the round for draw for round 2.
I don't know. I think there's still another round, or another couple of fixtures. There was a few called off over the weekend, I think. So, I'd say Padraig might get the Neil O'Sullivan, the Gwyn Jones, and the William Brown round in, and then do them all again together. But I'd say it could be the next fortnight.
Give me a call for a winner of the cup.
Wexford Cup?
Yeah.
Jesus. I think North End might have too much to play for with the outside competitions. So I go any of the next 3, Gorey, Fort Celtic or Shamrock Rovers, depending on the draw. So if that's any good to you.
You're not going to name one?
No, it's just too early.
Oh man.
You going to name one? Sure, you picked with North End last week.
Yeah, I think North End,
so
they have the squad.
Good.
Still playing all the competitions. And we'll start with the Premier this week. First 3 games, Bows 5-2 winners. Again, All Blacks, big win there. Bottom of the table clash.
Massive. Absolutely massive win for Bows. They were goal down.
Yeah,
So they were.
talking to some of the day, I think All Blacks were well in the game. I think 5-2 mightn't be a true reflection of the actual game.
Yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, the game goes out the window. It's about getting 3 points. No point in playing well and coming off the pitch 5-2 down. Look, it does. It definitely leaves. We're just on the halfway point. We said last week we think All Blacks could be under pressure if they lost that. They did lose it to Bows. It pushes Wexford Bows right up. There's very little from Crossabeg in 5th the whole way down to Ross in 10th there. So there's only 5 points covering them all. So it's a massive win for Wexford Bows.
And Crossabeg drawn 1-1 with Bunclody. Andrew Kelly there getting the equaliser. He thanked me for that. An OG for Bunclody.
Yeah, so it was kind of resulted in suit. Like either
Joe Finn got the Bunclody goal, yeah.
Like I wasn't talking to any of the lads there. Were you talking to Joe about the game? Or Nick?
No, I was talking to Joe for a while there on Sunday. He wasn't overly happy with the performance, but he was happy with their fighting spirit to get in to get the draw. Playing bad to still get had a bit of a fighting spirit to get the draw. You didn't say too much on it, no.
Yeah. Look, I suppose, would you be happy? I don't know. Put yourself, if you were the manager across the Bay or Bunclody, it's a game you really. Both of them are probably looking at. They want to win.
Both teams
if they want to get.
They should be winning that
to
game.
Go that next level up, or to try and keep up with the Gories, the Fort Celtic, Shamrock Rovers. So they both be probably a small bit disappointed, because if either of them had won it, pulls them right up out of it, where it would have left either of the other two back right down in it. And
then we probably the form team at the moment, your own club, but Shamrock's beating Ross 6-2. Sean Fitzpatrick, we talked about transfers. Sean Fitzpatrick, 2 goals. Fairness to Ken, big decision to leave Dapo on the line.
Yeah, massive decision. Dapo was, I think, his top goal scorer.
So Sean got a hat trick, actually, did he?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. I look at Sean Fitzpatrick is an excellent player. Has been for a number of years. I remember looking at Sean back with Shamrock Rovers, and he played underage. He actually played a game for me when he was only a chap. So look at he's a talent, definitely, and he'd be a massive talent back in that. And the Wexford League should suit him because he's a strong chap. He's an eye for goal, and he's powerful, and a big result for Rovers, considering they lost Rafi fairly early in the game with a red card as well. So big win for Shamrock Rovers. But you go back, they probably got Ross at a nice time. Like you have to look, Ross were missing maybe 4 or 5 players as well. Like Chubby Sinnott gone out of that midfield is a massive loss to Ross. He's gone in with the senior footballers, so he's going to be a massive loss. Donegal O'Connor's gone away to Australia as well. So like look, and Daniellis, Danny in the goal is out injured. So like with them lads missing, it might have been a nice time for Rovers to have played them.
Yeah, and the table doesn't really affect the table. Like I'll keep saying it, you're going to have the top 4. Or then Shamrock's 4th and Gorey, and I think you could throw a blanket over the rest where it all could end up. Maybe All Blacks are getting drifting apart from the rest. Yeah,
well, look at All Blacks on 9 games played. It's just near enough halfway. Like their season has to turn absolutely drastic. 2 points at the minute, like to stay up. They're going to need.
We'll jump to the fixtures. They're actually playing the Mine at the weekend. I think they'll probably have to win that if they're going to realistic have any chance getting out of that bottom 2, don't they?
Yeah, and look, and they're going to have to win like maybe 5 out of the next 10 games, you know. So it's a big ask. Like I think 15-16 points mightn't even be enough to keep you up this year, especially with 2 up and 2 down. So yeah, look, it's going to be it's a big ask. I know one thing that the All Blacks lads is they'll be they won't go down without fighting. There'll be proud club men down there, and
they'll
be tough, like so. Yeah, so so look, they could do it.
Then we Shamrocks game Bunclody, comfortable win for Shamrocks.
Bunclody betting 1-0 in Father Murphy Park. So Rovers probably home a bit of a I was going to say a trimming, but the Rovers were by far the better team that day. After an hour mark, there should have been a couple of goals up, but they made a mistake at the back. Sean Miller gave away a penalty, and Bunclody scored it. And look at they'll definitely probably. Ken won't forgive me for saying it, but Shamrock Rovers will definitely like going up onto the big pitch if it's on the main pitch, and they'll definitely look to find space.
And then Bows again, Ross, massive game in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, that's a big
Bows
game.
with a big win last week, and Ross with a heavy defeat. You'd probably, I think Bows will be really looking to get 3 points there, won't they? Even though it's down in Ross.
Yeah, they'll be looking to kick Ross when they're down. As I said, there's 2 lads definitely gone, Chubby and Dunny. Don't know if Danielis is back, and there's 3 or 4 other lads in that Ross squad that will be looking to come back. So look at it's a massive win or a massive weekend for both clubs. I think it's probably a bigger game for Bows. They've been in the Premier now a number of years. So like obviously they both clubs want to stay in it, but I think it's a massive game for Bows.
And then Fort Celtic with eyes on the title, home game again. Ferns, I suppose Fort's probably be happy enough that it's Ferns again for the simple reason Fort haven't played probably haven't played since Christmas, so you're talking maybe 3-4 weeks, and Ferns haven't either, so they're probably lucky enough that they got that fixture again and not maybe one of the other teams that have played the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they were meant to play each other last week, and the pitch was unplayable up in Ferns. So Patrick obviously reversed the fixture to make sure that they play each other. Obviously they have to play each other twice, so it's fixed for down in Fort Celtic. I think this game, we said it last week, these are tricky games for the Fort Celtic, because Ferns are workmanlike and Fort Celtic are quite similar. So yeah, it's a big game now at home.
Yeah, move on to Division 1. Gorey continue their march on to the title with a 7-0 win against Glenbarntown. Glenbarntown have been struggling the last couple of weeks. I think they've changed the manager mid-season.
Yeah, Justin I think has stepped down there, and they lost Sean Cooney as well. So look at it's in a little bit of a free fall down there at the minute. But Trevor Berry's gone in, and Trevor was in a few years ago with Kieran Kelly. So Trevor will definitely settle the ship, and good football man, Trevor.
Yeah, Cortown 2 points dropped. Draw home to Shelburne.
You would say it after last week's result against Cork, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know, so Cork beat Shelburne the week before 8-1. So look at you would have probably fancied Cortown to have beaten Shelburne, especially at home. So sure, look at it. It's interesting to see.
And then the club that's not happy with you at the moment, Cork, beating Ajax 2-0. I think you have something to say to him there before we dig into it, yeah?
I know, look at sure every dog and the ditch knows that the pitch down in Cork Rambler isn't a Sabutio pitch. Look, it was a bit of tongue in cheek, and I think a few of the Cork lads took offence to it. So if I offended anybody, I'll apologise. But look at it's tongue in cheek at times, and look at sure. You have to say fair play to Cork for the effort they're putting in down there. The pitches, the grass pitch is fantastic. The Astro is a brilliant facility. It's great setup. Like, and in fairness, they're doing Trojan work down there. I have the utmost respect for most of the lads down there. Worked with Garrett McCurtain with the Oscar trainers. He was actually captain for me. So I look at they're great lads down there. And
so that's Nicky apologising to Paul Amherst. You have it done now, Nicky.
So, sorry, Rory.
We look at the league table. Probably, as you said, there's 2 definitely going up. So it's probably 2 out of. Would you rule Joseph's out this yet?
They're
fifth on 10 games played, 19 points. North End 10 played, 22 points. Cork 11 played, 23 points. Cortown 11 played, 24 points. Gorey 11 played, 28 points. Fairness, Cortown and Corra have got their act together the last couple of weeks, haven't they? I think there's 4 wins out of 5 for Cork and 5 wins and a draw for Courtown.
Yeah, and I'm not going to be I don't mean this is coming across as harsh. Courtown and Cork should be up there. Like, Courtown is a massive club in the north of the county.
Yeah, right. Don't be apologising again next
So
week.
fantastic facilities, and like Courtown are going to have their own Astro pitch and all up and running soon. So like they're massive. Courtown is a massive club, and always have been very, very difficult to play against. So like to see them back up competing at the top of that Division 1 and within a chance of getting promoted. I think Courtown would definitely add to the Premier if they go up. They're that good of a club. Cork Ramblers are the same. They've probably yo-yoed up and down. And I'm going to be honest, I think Cork Ramblers have to go up this year. You look at the age profile, a lot of lads. Now, I know they have younger lads coming through and things like that, but the age profile of a lot of them, they can't keep going to the well on them. So, yeah, it's a massive, massive year for the two of them. You asked me about St. Joseph's. I'd looking at it, I think St. Joseph's are going to do something quite similar to what they've done already. They'll probably lose one or two between now and the end of the season. So the difference is can North End maintain it? That St. Joseph's maybe might be able to get up into that top 3 or 4, but I think it's North End's form will dictate it.
There's 4 games that division this week. And actually, Joseph's against Rattanure is an interesting game because it's probably the first league game that Rattanure will have all the GA contingent back.
Yeah.
And well, you said Shane will be suspended, will he?
Shane should be. Yeah, he was
So
unfortunately sent off.
If Joseph's want to stay in that title race, they have to win that one. Simple.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Cora again, Glyn's farm, Cora's farm. Expect a but a handy win there for Cora.
You would expect so, yeah. I was talking to John there the last couple of weeks, and he's saying that they're in great form. So yeah, Cork, you would be expecting to go down and do something down there.
Yeah, and then in fairness, don't mean to be giving out about Porrick now, but he's not been nice to Shelburne, is he? That's away to Cork, away to Courtown, and away to Gorey 3 weeks in a row after he's come back after Christmas.
I'd say Chris Connick is going mad down there. Yeah, look at it. That's a tough game going up there to Gorey. You look at the squad that Gorey had last week. They brought in Paul Brennan, Stephen Maloney in it, so getting game time back. Which it's very interesting to see because that hasn't happened over the last couple of years when Willie was up there. So it's interesting to see the likes of Stephen Maloney coming back in.
There is a mix
Paul
between
Brennan,
A and B.
yeah. But that doesn't bode well for
the rest of the
division if they're going to be chopping and changing and using some of the first team squad. So yeah, look, it's going to be extremely tough for Shelburne. I'm going to be honest. I think I'd near enough say that I think that Gorey team could win that Division 1. I think Courtown. I wouldn't rule them out, Courtown and Cork, but I think they're fighting for second, to be honest.
Yeah, and then probably one of the games of the weekend, if not the game, is North End's second team again, Courtown in that. North End at home. Yeah,
big game as well for both squads.
Realistically, if one of them going to challenge Gorey to win it, you'd probably think one of them has to get 3 points. I think if it's a draw, Gorey will be the one laughing. Oh,
if it's a draw, yeah, definitely Gorey will be laughing. But yeah, look at it. It's a massive. It's probably more important game for Courtown than North End. But look at a massive game, and yeah, I might pop over to that one on Sunday.
Yeah, we go down to Division 2, and just before we get into that, I think we want to let the Division 2 managers know that we might be looking to do something about Division 2 next week, so to make ourselves available for next Wednesday night. Yeah,
either next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. I think we'll create a group maybe towards the end of this week, and we'll throw them out there and we'll try to get them in. Because yeah, look at it's nice to get in the managers and have a chat to them. And I think the manager should buy into it, and I don't know about you, but come in.
I'd be hoping to be, yeah.
Well, like, it's their chance to sell their club. Have a chat to them about their players, because I got a bit of feedback off a couple of lads over a couple of weeks, and saying to me, will you mention this lad, will you mention that lad? Come in yourselves and mention them, you know, like, it doesn't mean anything when me and you were saying about a lad. It's only our opinion. They're the lads who are picking them week in, week out, so hopefully they'll come in.
As an individual, it's a chance to sell to the club. It's a chance to sell themselves as a coach, as a manager, to their own players and players that they might be looking to sign in the next couple of months or weeks.
Not in January, Owen. You said we're not allowed to sign anybody in January.
You just still can. Only 2 games. Was probably the farm team in Division 2 at the moment. 3 wins out of 4. Clabon 4-2 winners again. Rosslare down in Rosslare.
Yeah. Actually, I got a text message off of Tank, Clabon's manager, and it's not too often you get this, but he was going on about the referee, in a good sense. He said that.
I was wondering where you were going with that for a minute.
I was more surprised when he said who it was. It was Sean Grant. I know he.
Why are you surprised? He is a good referee.
I know he is. I was only joking. And tongue in cheek again. I apologise, Sean. Tank. He texted. He said that he thought that Sean was absolutely excellent. On the day, he thought that the way he refereed the game, spoke to players, it was brilliant. So, it's nice to get that mention or a text message, because normally you might get a lad ringing you or giving out about a referee, but it was very, very good to get that. So I thought I'd mention it, and it actually happened twice over the weekend. A chap from Rathnure was telling me how good Darren Keaton was. So it's great to hear that instead of the horror stories that sometimes you do hear and lads moaning and whinging, that you got told that Darren Keaton and Sean Grant were very, very good this week. So so there we are. We're praising these boys.
Why are you wanting after referees, Nicky?
Nah, I might go back managing next year.
Must be something, yeah. And then the only other game that was 4 Celtic, second team, 1-1 draw with Bridge Rovers. We look at the table. I suppose the top teams there, United, Tambrack, Ballymurn, Fastnet. I suppose they're probably looking over shoulders at Clabon. Can't see Clabon coming up into the title race, but with that form, none of them will want to play him, I'd say.
Definitely not. Look, you have a team with Paddy Cullen in it. Paddy's back. I know I tried to sign him a few years ago, and I kind of looked at Paddy as maybe not being the next James Carty, but a midfielder in that role, and doing something similar for Shamrock Rovers. So Paddy definitely, him back in that Clabon team is definitely going to. Clabon might not win the league, but they're going to have a big say in who does win it. Big dint for Rosslare Rangers. Denny Carty went down there with a big reputation, and I suppose being 7 points off of Enniscorthy United, they've a big gap to fill. Now maybe because they've been relegated the last 2 years, maybe me and you were looking at it thinking they should be promoted. Maybe Denny and them have a different idea. Maybe it's just settling this year project, and try and build it. We're not privy to that. But just the size of the club, you will be expecting Rosslare Rangers to be up the top of it. So like that's an interesting one on it. But who would you fancy here? We're halfway mark. Would you probably be Tom Brack? But I was very impressed with Enniscorthy United this year, and I wouldn't rule out Ballymurn either. But probably just Tom Brack are just not conceding. They haven't been beaten.
It's just United's form. Like they had a good win in the cup last week. I was just looking at their form here. I think they won their last game of the league 3 before that. They drew and lost, I suppose. And after they were at the winning, they dropped off a bit there before Christmas. Maybe the break of Christmas came at the right time for them. I just looking at the table, they're probably Camolan and Curracloe are out of the promotion. But if Clabon put a run together, they have the players. They could easily get involved in the promotion end of it as winning it. Just of all the teams, and I just think Tom Brack might just have the experience of the majority of that squad would have played Premier. Yeah. Played Division 1 for a long time.
Like you look at Ballymurn, and what for me was probably going against Ballymurn in this is they've such a small squad, and they have for the last couple of years, kind of relying on a pool of 14, 15 players. Promotion, they had such a good year last year, winning Leinster, winning their league, things like that. It's very, very hard to keep that going. So like sometimes there's a little leveling off period, but like I still could see him being promoted, but that's why I just think they may not get over the line. Where Tom Brack have had that little bit of a leveling period. They were in the Premier, they dropped right down. They've kind of spent a year or two in around that mid-table, and that's a lot of them lads might have that bit of hunger to try and get Tom Brack up before they retire.
I think it's actually one of the most interesting divisions, the fact that there's so probably many involved in the promotion, winning of it, and then I think the two B teams are very interesting for me, Fort and Bows, because they've been in around Division 2 for a good few years there now to do well in it. And then for the teams up the top, the United, the Dunbracks, the Ballymurns, when you're playing them, you might know who you're coming up against. As you said, it could be one or two of the first teams coming back to get game time, that haven't maybe come back from an injury or something. So they've interest, and there's a few interesting games in it at the weekend. We've Rosslare Fastnet. You said about Rosslare, if they're maybe not for promotion, but for looking to be in the title race, they'll probably have to win that one. And Fastnet will probably feel the same. Yeah,
definitely, yeah. Look at Fastnet, we're another team promoted last year. They're doing great work down there, down that area, down Rathangan. So look, it's a big game for both of them. If either of them lose it, I think it kind of rules them out of being in the league running, because it's just so stop and starty for them. But yeah, look, it's a big game. The Tonbreck and Fort Celtic's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, for what I said, and what I said, what will Fort Celtic travel with? With Fort playing foreigners, you'd imagine they'll have their full B team squad. They won't have maybe anyone coming from the A team, but then there's such selection of players down there now as well. As I said, they're in Division 2 the last couple of years. That won't be an easy one from Tonbreck. It'll be a tricky one. Then Bows again, Ballymurn. You'd imagine Ballymurn will win that again. If they want to be in the title, they're going to have to.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So,
and then Clabon and Curraclaw. I was talking to Robbie Staples the other day. He was getting on to me. He said we have to be nicer about Curraclaw. So.
Actually, yeah. Paddy Hayde was on to me as well. I always thought we were nice. It's a lovely pitch down there on the beach.
Robbie, that was Nicky, not me.
No, look, Curraclaw are one of these clubs that probably were shooting above themselves for a long number of years. Like with the facilities and everything they have down there is absolutely top notch. But look, they've going through like what Rosslare Rangers and what Tonbreck and them have gone through. They've been in the Premier. They probably fell down a little bit. There's a change of manager down there. There's new lads coming in, or back in, or some older heads, should I say, coming back in around. So Curraclaw will definitely stabilise now, and the relegation in that Division 2 is going to be even more interesting to see, because you would have nailed on Curraclaw before Christmas. You probably would have nailed on Clabon before Christmas, but now with the change in management and with a few players coming back to them, you could quite possibly see the two of them climbing up the division a little bit. So so it's interesting to see.
The last game then is tabletop percentage United against second from bottom Camolan. Actually went seen a bit of Camolan Shamrocks in the youth Premier there. And those Camolan youth team, I was very impressed with them. Some very good players, young Carton chap, very good. So you're on about relegation. I'd say Camolan will want to stay in that division with the good youth team coming up behind them to make sure that they all keep playing at a high enough level.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it won't be an easy game for United.
No, Camolan is never.
It's a great cup win there, or a cup run 2 years ago. Didn't get to semi final, didn't it?
No, Camolan definitely never. They're kind of Gorey Rangers kind of have opened up a shop window there, and they've pushed down even south, and they were looking to try and take a few of Camolan's underage youth lads. So, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, so look at it'll be interesting to see, can Camolan keep a lot of them youth lads and come through. Patrick Whitty was ranting and raving about that Carton chap there. Unfortunately, he's not involved with the under 18 squad, but he's a really, really good chap.
He was very good.
Want to keep an eye on in the future.
Yeah. Division 3 then we had Ilgate 4-2 against Gorey Celtic. Bree beating Killeen 2-1. Rosstown maybe somewhat surprisingly losing out 5-1 to Leonard.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the week before. Sorry, I have the wrong week.
You're gone.
No, I have the right week. No, I have the right week. Sorry.
So, yeah. Actually, just before you go on to that,
Ross and Leonard's was the week before. Sorry.
Just before you go on, Dennis Hennessy's on there texts me. Wexford Youths are 1-0 up. So that's
Wexford Football League Youths.
Wexford Football League, yeah. Youths. So there's no Wexford Youths anymore, and that went out with Mick Wallace. Yeah. So, and I've just got another score in the Oscar Trainers semi-final. Half time is Carlow 0 and Kilkenny 2. So Wexford will be meeting the winners of that, and sure, I suppose at half time you will be expecting Kilkenny to come through on that.
Yeah, I'll give them results again because you're confusing me. I get beat Gorey 4-2, Bree beat Killeen 2-1, and Leonard's beat Rosstown 5-1.
Yeah, that's a surprise. The Leonard's Rosstown one, isn't it? Because Ross at the top of the table. You're always ranting and raving about St Leonard's down there. Yeah, I think you suspect that they're always up to something.
No, not at all. I just think the players they have, they could be. Look, they probably all don't play, but the players they could have, if the GA players played, I think they're capable of playing a lot higher. I never said they were up to anything. I said relegating them from Division 1 to Division 3 was a bit suspect by the Wexford League, not St Leonard's.
Yeah, look, it's a big defeat for Rosstown. Like they were sitting, I know the clubs around them had games in hand, but to be getting beaten 5-1 by Leonard's, yeah, it was a big defeat for him.
Yeah, just looking at that, we look at the fixtures and that this week. We have Shamrocks, Kalena, Ilgate, Leonard's. It'll be interesting to see that one now because Ilgate in a bit of form too. Adamstown, Bunclody, and Wexford Celtic, Duncannon. And on the table then, as you say, Ross 12-24, Bree 10-21, Shamrocks 11-20. Could Shamrocks be? I think there were a few players back there from that weren't getting in on the A-team squad back playing the B team. It'll be a lot stronger. I think proved that with the win at the weekend.
Yeah, I think Shamrock Rovers are kind of quite like what I said about Clabon. They may not win it, but they'll have a big say in where it's going to go. Like they've lost 3 games kind of at the start of the season there, but they've been on a good run. I think they've won the last 4, or 4 out of 5 anyway. So yeah, look, nobody is going to want to play against that Shamrock Rovers side, that's for sure. And they'll have a big say in it. As I said, I've been out. I seen Ilgate play a couple of weeks ago, and they had really good players dotted everywhere. Paul Burns in the goal, Dahi O'Mahony. I said about Marty last week.
He started there the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, and look, he picked up a yellow card.
Wouldn't be like him.
So no, definitely not. But like him in Division 3, like he was head and shoulders above everybody else in the over 35s. Him dropping into that Division 3, I think it'll suit him. And look, he always played with his head. So look at I think Ilgate. I think if they put a run, especially I thought Rosstown might have been the one club that might have hurted them, but Bree Ilgate, I don't see anybody else now.
Move on to 3A then, 3 games as well. We had Ferns beating Fethard 4-1, Rosslare Strand beating Enniscorthy Town 3-0, and Blackwater 6-0 again to Mine. The table is Rosslare, Blackwater, Ferns might have a say in it. It's hard to look by Rosslare, isn't it?
Yeah, look they're going well. Blackwater, I'll argue with you. Big win against the Mine. What happened there, Eden?
Oh, you may talk to Peter Marsden.
Oh, Jesus. Very unlike you to pass the buck to somebody else.
I wasn't at the game, I can't tell you what happened.
Yeah, look it kind of looks like that Blackwater and Rosslare are going to be too strong in that division. There's Mine, probably Enniscorthy Town. There's 3 Enniscorthy teams in it. I look at it's a tough little division, but I think the Blackwater and Rosslare Strand are probably a step above everybody else in that.
Yeah.
No. Ferns will be moaning and whinging. They've games in hand. They've a game in hand, 2 in hand on Rosslare Strand. So like they definitely have a shout in it, alright.
Yeah, and we move on to the Division 4. We'd the Ballock beating Shelburne 1-0, Cormac's 2-1 again Cairn, Camolan B team beating Cushinstown 2-1.
Yeah.
Up to the table. Fort Celtic's third team on top with 28 points. Cormac's point behind them. Cortown 2 games in hand on him, 26 points behind him. Them 3 really at it.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I look at all the tables are taking shape now. So yeah, look at it's definitely going to be between them top 3. Cushinstown 11 games played, few points behind. So no, I don't see anybody else. Probably Kilteely are the ones from the start of the season. I thought they were going to go well, with the few players they signed, but it doesn't seem to have worked for them as of yet.
Yeah, and 4A then we had Campile beating Furnace 4-0, Ross Birkin 6-1 winners again. Kilmore, we have Bridge sitting out on top of that, 24 points, but Rosslare Rangers 2 points behind him with 2 games in hand. Can pile up around there as well with 21 points. It's Wexford Bows there as well on 21 points. Ross Birkin could be in the shout too with 19 points. There's 4 or 5 teams in that one.
Yeah. Rosslare Rangers obviously have the games in hand, but they're not points. So, look.
Ross Birkin and Compile will be the big game in that one at the weekend.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. I wonder, is Anthony Rowe going to get Jack White? Jack was managing the B team last year, and every time we won a game, Anthony had to buy him a pint. So I wonder if the boys kept to that deal. It'd be interesting to see. In fairness to Jack, he done really well stepping in there last year, and he's in there this year. So that big game for either of the two of them this year or this weekend.
Yeah, Division 5 then. Tamprack continue their winning ways, 2-0 win to All Blacks. Corey Rangers and Enniscorthy United had a thriller in Enniscorthy and the new Astro 4-3 to Gorey. I think there's one of the goals gone up on the Facebook there tonight. And Castlelock beat Adamstown 2-0. We'll have a look at the table and maybe we'll try to explain this again. So Tamprack played 12, so after one more game, they'll be going into the newly. They're definitely going to be the top half.
Yeah, well, there's
Shamrocks are going to be in it.
Yeah.
Cork. So it's the bottom 7 then. Any more on
bottom 7?
Any more on them with the points? Are they going back to 0-0?
No.
We established last week the top half is keeping. That's what they have.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So, no, I don't. There was nothing, unless I was asleep for part of the meeting, there was nothing discussed on that last week. So look at
might be nice to let the teams know what is happening, you know.
It's not my job. So
you're on the league, ain't you?
yeah, but sure, look. Look at Padraig and the lads will definitely work on something on that now, I'd say, this week. So look at Tom Bracker absolutely flying in that division, aren't they? 10 points clear.
No defeats, 44 scored, 9 conceded.
Yeah, Shamrock Rovers in second. I propose then that everybody goes back to 0. No, Tom Brack. No.
Shouldn't have said no, because that happened.
No, I'm only joking. I wouldn't be allowed for on that anyway. So, look at it. It's interesting, and be interesting to see the bottom half of that division when that goes back to 0-0 and gives everybody a fresh start to go and battle it out.
Yeah, we had one other result then. North End beating Stella Mar, I think it was 7-3 in the FAI. And then Gorey are their way to Old County this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
In the FAI as well.
That one could be saucy now.
Any word of Gorey got a new manager in place, or is Billy and Dennis taking it over for the rest of the year? Do you hear anything? Usually know stuff what's happening in Gorey.
Yeah, I was actually up in
Rumours
Gorey.
you were offered a job. Any truth?
No. I was in Gorey the other day and I went into the bookies and you were favoured for the job.
No.
So no. So I heard you were. So with your former record, the one that Neil done up for you last week. So no, look at Billy and the boys in there at the minute. I suppose it's their job. It's probably a little bit unfair for us to be saying who's going in, who's going out. I know they were seeking interests. See was anybody interested in it. So it's a massive job. In the county. Like the FAI final last year, they were kick of a ball away from winning it. The same when the Leinster Junior Cup the year before. So you have a great pool of players, you have fantastic facilities, absolutely brilliant underage coming through. You have a town that's absolutely buzzing. And you see when Gorey get to cup finals and things like that, the whole town comes out and
because it's behind them.
It gets in behind them. So whether it's GA or soccer. Yeah. So look at it, and there's superpower in Wexford now at the minute. I keep on going back and saying this. There's going to be superpower clubs. Like in Kilkenny, you have your Evergreen and your Freebooters, and rest of the clubs are trailing along, trying to catch up to them. But you look, Gorey, North Ends are them at the minute in Wexford. So look, it'd be very, if a lad was wanting to get in and get going at it, it's a fantastic opportunity. It's a fantastic club, no. How would you feel about?
In what way now?
About going managing? Like, if you were to go back, would you like to go and manage another club, or would you just
Oh.
no?
Wouldn't be for me.
Yeah, I probably you'd be ruling myself out of a lot of things. But
Not I just see mine is my club. I wouldn't see myself managing anywhere.
we can see that.
Yeah, I think there's a lack of loyalty in football. I think when managers start maybe doing it, I didn't look at this creeping in. I'm not again. People want to go manage. They want different opportunities to manage, but
you have to look at it,
I
and
think there's something you said taking over your own club, getting them.
yeah,
Like you took Rovers that hadn't won a Premier title. They were floating in between Division 1 and Premier when you got them. You get them there at the top level for 10 years. Look what Goggy's done in North End. You know, there's a lot to be said for that. And look, but then what Willie done in Gorey in 2 years is fairly impressive. In fairness, two national titles.
What Joe's done with Cross the Leg and Tom Brack.
Done what in Gorey no one else could do.
So,
getting the league title, what Joe's done.
Yeah, and look at it. It's a pat for some managers. I was quite lucky that the club came and they were actually looking for my father, and then he brought me along. So the two of us went into it. So that gave me the platform to go and do it. I like if Joe New was coming along, he probably couldn't get the job because you were in it. Do you know, so he had to go a different route and find his own feet. No, but like even before that, you know, like so. Like there's different paths for players and people who want to manage and go into different clubs.
And look,
but
it's probably unfair of me to say that about managers not staying in our club, because you just said there's 11 positions available on the field. There's only one position as a manager, so it's probably a little bit unfair for me to say that. But just on the Gorey job, I think it's a difficult job. I think Billy's probably the right man for it now. Myself, just knowing him and Dennis would have done a lot of me coaching courses just coincidentally with Dennis coming up.
Yeah,
years
Dennis
ago.
is a good man. Yeah,
but the Gorey job, it's a bit like the North End job, I suppose. Whoever get it, you're expected to win. Yeah. No, you're not expected to have a 2-year plan or a 3-year plan to get somewhere to win.
I'm like, going to be a bit probably controversial now when I say this again. I think Gorey have probably underachieved a bit in the last 5 or 6 years, in that the caliber of player and like they've a league title. They've had so many opportunities with the FAIs, the Leinster Juniors, do you know, like, and it just with they've such good players up there, such a big squad up there that I would have liked to have seen him picked up a couple of more trophies. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that goes with the pressure that the club is on now, and the manager, whoever goes in and takes over. Maybe underachieved is a little bit harsh, but I would have liked to have seen him win a couple of more things along the way.
It's about perspective, and maybe, and I'm going to probably be a little bit harsh to you. You probably didn't take the FAI in Leinster. We would have always thought about this
didn't.
Serious. I would have. I mean, we had a few runs in it, nothing like what Gorey had, but I think we got to the quarter final of Leinster in the last 16. The FAI we were penalty extra time last night to Usher that time. The time Usher went on to win it, I think, and the effort that goes into it, I think you're maybe underestimating the achievement from Gorey to get to that final. And
I know I'm not. I wouldn't be underestimating what they've done. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. But I would have liked. I think.
Them players will be disappointed. They haven't got a winner's medal, but when they look back at it, and people look back, they got the two national finals.
I thought there was a league title there from last year. Like with North End, with Denny stepping away and the run into the title. They had their home fixture against North End. I thought there was a run in. I thought that could have been a second league title. Maybe one or two more would have been taken. Yeah. Like that's. I'm sure we're not in the dressing room, so we don't know. Do you know? Like but like probably, as I said, when I say the underachieve was probably a little bit harsh, but they definitely could have picked up a couple of more things. They maybe left a few things behind them. So then you don't get too many chances. So
they didn't win. I know people say, "Oh, they didn't win it," but they got the two national finals.
Not
too many people have done it.
No,
they got
me. I've never been to quarter final in Leinster and last 32 of an FAI. That's as good as I've ever gotten anybody to. You know, so who am I to knock?
Just so we finish up, any update on the youth final?
No, nothing. I am waiting on Dennis now. He wouldn't be. No.
Well, thanks, Nick. We'll put up in the comments there when we find out the result, and I'm sure the boys will be doing a piece on it. Hopefully they'll continue.
Please God.
We're winning 1-0, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, thanks everyone. See you all next week.
Good luck.